Welcome to Talking PHAT. That's PHAT spelled P-H-A-T, which stands for Purpose, Hope, and Truth. This is where solutions are discussed for today's problems in our country, in our communities, and in our lives.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unlocking Your Legacy with Talking PHAT. I am Keith Robertson, the Fin Coach, your host. And remember, Talking PHAT is P-H-A-T, not F-A-T, which is the acronym for Purpose, Hope, and Truth, which is a story within itself. So I want to welcome each and every one of you guys for tuning in. Listen, so we got some exciting guests coming forward here in just a bit. I'm excited about today's show. We're trying a whole different format, having guests come forward and share their expertise and their experiences in business and life. But in the meantime, so let's talk a little bit while we have some people come in, and we have Phill Crawford and Tony Hackworth come forth as well here in just a bit. So, hey, what do y'all think about the Fed yesterday, right? The Fed lowered the rate, and it kind of shocked the market a bit too, and the reason being is because they lowered the rate, but they were a bit what you call hawkish. So they were still kind of soaring pretty high when they stated that, next year they're probably looking at about 2 cuts next year, where the market itself was anticipating 4 cuts throughout the course of the year. But listen, guys, we know this one thing, and this one thing to be true. The Fed always gets it wrong. If you look historically, you look at their decision making, they get it wrong. All the increase in the interest rates, and then, we saw what that did to the market. And then, of course, now they have to rush to try to bring the economic fall back down. But of course, we talked about the lag effect, and it's hitting the market now, guys. I see the lag effect hitting the market when we look at the car industry. Car industry is starting to tighten up quite a bit. When we look at the inventory, the increased inventory, along with the high payments that are out there now. Some of these payments out there for these cars are, wow. Listen, I'm seeing $1,000 car payments, y'all. Realistic $1,000 car payments for 6 years. Ridiculous, because the values that they're putting on the cars now, and that depreciation is crazy. You understand? You go out now, I believe it was a Charger. They were asking like $115 for Chargers. Come on, y'all. This is the market that we're in. That is the depreciating asset, and we've talked about that before. You have appreciating assets that are beneficial to you, and you have depreciating assets that are not beneficial to you. Depending on where you are in your life, you may be able to buy depreciating assets along with your appreciating assets and have that a part of your legacy or your personal portfolio. But listen, the market and where it's headed now, is that car industry could really crash, guys. You got defaults that are up as well in that car industry. Still, plagued with what happened back in COVID. All those faulty loans that were done. People were buying cars and not making the first payment, and then they couldn't find the people to 6 months later. But now they didn't put 100,000 miles on the car, and they've been living in the car for 6 months. Hey, but that's the market. Housing market. Okay, we're going to get into housing real estate, but in general, I don't know, guys. I don't know. 2025 could be a fantastic year for the investor in the housing market. We've seen an increase in the investment space, at 12 Stone. We're doing more investor type loans now. So let's see what that turns out to be, right? And then here's one for you. Here's one. Donald Trump, hey, he's coming in. He's building momentum. He got his cabinet picks thus far. All right, you can say what you want to say about that. But what he was able to do, he was able to get Masa Yoshihide, who is an investor, a major investor in Japan, to bring forth SoftBank to invest $100 billion in the U.S. Along with that $100 billion is going to come 100,000 jobs. So right off, Donald Trump, he's doing some things, and so they had a press conference, I believe it was yesterday, and doing for those who saw it. And so during that press conference, Massa, he came out and he was praising Donald Trump and how he found that he had confidence again in the U.S. Because if you may not remember, but Massa Yoshi Shine, they actually invested $100 billion before in the U.S. in during the Donald Trump administration, and they came forward with those dollars, y'all. So I mean, it's a real thing. But at the end of that press conference, Donald Trump, he pressed Massa a bit to commit to 200 billion and 200,000 jobs, and Massa was like, "Oh, you're a shrewd businessman. This guy in his negotiations, right?" But Massa said he's going to try. And hey, guys, I think it may be a real thing. So as we look at, we may be getting a shot in the arm. But they did kill the spending bill. Donald Trump, they did kill the spending bill because they had a whole lot of fluff in the spending bill. And so what's going to happen is we're going to begin to hear talks about government shutdown again, the government shutdown. So listen, guys, government jobs don't get eradicated. People get furloughed. They still are getting paid. Then you have mandatory spending where that's your Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security and things of that nature. The VA, they're mandatory by law. They have to be paid. The discretionary funds come like your military spending, schools, and things of that nature. So, I'm not going to go into a deep dive in economics right now. Or I should say the economy, but I'm gonna come back probably maybe next week or I'll do another live. But listen, I want to bring these brothers forward. I want to bring forward Phill Crawford, right? Phill Crawford, PAC consultants and realtor extraordinaire, Tony Hackworth, for a conversation about financial literacy and real estate.
Keith,
what's up, gentlemen?
Keith, what's going on, brother?
Man, hey, listen, first of all, let me thank you guys for taking time out of your schedules, man. I know you guys out there doing the doggone thing out there in Texas. We're going to talk about that. So I really, I thank you for taking time, man.
100%. We appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, I got to say it, Antonio. Two Ty, what's up?
I'm here, my brother. How you doing? Good to see you. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Live in effect, guys. So, so we want to just hear, your viewpoint. People are always hearing my viewpoint. So I wanted to bring some other experts on, man. So people can really get insight into what's really out there in the marketplace in our economy as far as the real estate game, as well as, my key thing, man, is what's dear to my heart is financial literacy. We need that in the community. So
100%.
Yeah. So let's which one y'all want to bridge first? Real estate or financial literacy?
We always talk about real estate. In my opinion, we had those conversations. But I think most importantly is the financial side that we don't really get, like, to understand that process. A lot of people, do real estate where they rent, owning properties or what have you. But what's that piece that we truly missing, Keith? And that piece, in my opinion, is what you experts know about. So I'm going to be a student right now. Can I be a student and listen to Phill and Keith?
Well, Phill, jump on in, bro. Let's talk about it.
For sure, 100%. I just definitely want to give a little bit of background about myself. So
thank you. I was about to say that, Phill. Let's fill the people on who you are and what it is that you do, my brother.
For sure. Don't mind my ugly sweater. I was at a holiday party. But so I'm originally from Houston. I grew up predominantly in New York. I just moved back and relocated to Houston. I've been in the financial literacy space for 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. I went to school for accounting, got my accounting degree. So understanding the language of money was, something that I was familiar with, and how me and Tony met just at the gym, same time, early in the morning, that's where the discipline begins. And we just kind of clicked from there more so. So, Tony kind of put me on game more so with real estate, and I was putting him on more so with financial literacy and what you could do with your money outside of real estate, right? So, you know, within our community, a lot of times, like Tony said, we always speaking about real estate, real estate, real estate. But what are there's other pieces that are missing, right? There's different asset classes out there that we can put our money to have us work for it, right? You got the stock market, you got commodities market, you got the crypto market, right? You got bond market, you have money market, all these different types of market. You got the Forex market, the futures market, the options market. There's so many ways where you could put your money into it and you can have it work for you, right? And every market may not be for you, right? Depending on your age, your risk tolerance, all that good stuff, right? I worked at a firm for 4 or 5 years and ended up leaving just because I wanted to start my own thing, right? I learned the blueprint. I was around some big players in the game. I got mentored by some big players in the game. So once everything started to click for me, I kind of branched off and did my own thing, right? So that's why I have PHAT Consulting now today, right? So people come to me for, you know, investment advice, credit repair, business, personal funding, you know, business formation, shelf corporations, all that different stuff, you know, that I'm helping people out with. And I kind of just have myself as a financial literacy hub, right? People think a lot of times, you know, that they need to have it all figured out, and that's not the case, right? Some people feel embarrassed, especially within our community, and we shouldn't feel that way, right? As long as we're moving the needle towards positivity, right? I just came out with a children's book on financial literacy and real estate to gift over 100,000 kids. I want to get it to over 100,000 kids within our community and more communities, just so that they understand it, right? Because we need to understand that generational wealth is super important, especially in our community, so that we could pass down on assets, not liabilities or nothing, right? We kind of got to get out of that mindset where it's like, well, hey, I have this asset here. It's enough for them to be okay, right? I'll be in conversation. I'm like, no, you can't look at it like that, right? Because $100,000 is nothing in today's market, right? It goes in 0.2 seconds, right? We see athletes, they get out of the pros, they're broken 4 to 5 years, because a lot of people, when we see these contracts are getting signed, they don't understand how they get taxed, how much they're paying their agents, what they're wearing, all this stuff. So if you're not putting your money to work for you or making sure that you're safeguarding it, it will deplete fast, right? So we have to understand that, and then that's a huge thing within our community that we got to get a grip on. And the first thing starts from is just being disciplined and being open-minded, right? I'm big on being disciplined and open-minded, because if you're not open-minded, you will not learn. Simple as that, right? People think scam, this, that, and the third. Nah, it's not a scam. You just never seen it before in front of your eyes, right? Exactly. There's nobody asking you, hey, give me your social security through a fake email or whatever. That's a scam, right? If I tell you the stock market is real, it's not going nowhere. Crypto market's not going nowhere. These things are not disappearing, right? So I tell people all the time, right? There's nothing else we can make in the world. There's nothing else. There's only innovation, right? We have everything. There's nothing else humans need, right? It's just innovation of technology, right? That's kind of where in the space that we're at right now. There's nothing really else that's has to be made. We don't need another branch of a Walmart, right? Like, we already have all these stuffs in place. Now it's just like, hey, what's next for technology? Am I gonna be right next to you, Keith, talking? Because that's how, like, technology will.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
preach, brother. I'm telling you.
So that, you know, that's the big thing, kind of where we're at right now in that space of just the advancement of technology. And I remember I was in a interview one time with the firm, and this recruiter, he wanted me to come over to the firm, and I was just like, you know, for me, it got to make sense, right? It got to make sense, right? Just my knowledge, my expertise, stuff like that. And he said something real to me, and I didn't grasp it at first, and then I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. I'm younger than you guys, right? But our parents weren't able to get a grasp on how advanced technology went from 2010 to 2020, right? Really, like that time period, it really got advanced, right? For them to keep up. Then we got all the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We don't have MySpace anymore. Instagram, Facebook. What was that one everybody was the group video or group mic'd up, or was Clubhouse. Twitter's now X, Snapchat, Pinterest, like all these different social media platforms. Like, they're like, whoa, like this is a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, humans are experiencing the most dopamine ever in our livelihood.
Instant. Boom. Instant. It's
Right?
instant.
Like
Yeah.
I couldn't know about Keith's life unless I knew about Keith.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I knew Keith in person. I couldn't know about Tony unless I know Tony in person.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Mm-hmm.
me being able to see all this stuff on social media, it's good and it's bad, right? For a lot of people, because if you're not disciplined enough to like, hey, hop off that and go be real in real life, you know, you can kind of get left behind because you're over here scrolling because it's addicting. Right? So we don't want that, you know, and that's why like I created this you know, financial literacy book, $20, that's nothing, right? You're gonna go spend it on some designer. Why don't you gift your kid or a kid that you know a book that can maybe the bug in their ear at an early age, so when they get to 16 years old, they're asking about this, you know? Like I would have parents that like purchase my book, hey, send me a video of your kid like reviewing the book, what they learned from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? To see if they comprehended it. It's one thing about reading it, but you need to comprehend it. And when I was a kid, I didn't really like reading like that. But now I love reading. I remember like in 2020, 21, I read like 30, 35 books in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I really started to ramp up my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's kind of like, you know, that's something that we need to get a grip on within our community and be able to pass it down to the next generation.
You know, it's funny, you know, and everything that you said, if I could put a mirror up in front of myself and just have you talking, I could have just moved my lips, and because I say the same thing, brother. I say the same thing, man. You know, when we look at, you know, it took decades to go from the agricultural to the industrial, decades, hundreds of years to go from the agricultural to the industrial, and then go from the industrial to the manufacturing to the computer, then the informational age. Now look at Chat GPT. It came out and boom.
Yeah.
OpenAI is killing it. Yeah, it's killing it, man.
Millionaires. A bunch of their employees are gonna already be millionaires.
Absolutely, man. So I definitely commend you for what you're doing, man, in the children's book. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to make sure we grab the information about your books and the things that you have available as well. Because we want to stand behind you and promote you in whatever endeavors that you got going on, man. You know, because it's about the babies, man. You know, for me, you know, this is why I do what I do. You know, I'm out here memorializing my voice so my children's children can hear. Yeah. You know, hear what was their great grandfather talking about? What was he really about? Was he a real dude? You know, but you know, you said something that kind of caught my ear when you talk about people. Sometimes they don't start. See, people got to begin to realize that the start of a journey is right in front of you. Take the first step.
Yeah.
You know, like a GPS, you know, you start moving, you get off course, the GPS will bring you back in, you know. So I definitely commend you on everything that you said, man. So let's talk about this real quick. So when we talk about financing, I'm gonna tie it in now. I'm gonna tie it in with you, Tony, and bring the real estate piece in as well. So are you guys starting to see it harder and harder for people to qualify for homes out in your area? You know, when it comes to, you know, of course, the income piece, and you know, are you seeing it harder now?
Do you want me to answer this?
Nah, I don't. I see it coming back to the transit. They're making it much easier now. You know, what I understand about money, Keith, it has to go. It has to move.
Currency,
it cannot get stagnant, right? Like they have to come up with creative ways to get this money out so they can lend it, because money makes money.
Yeah.
So I see some of the old plans coming back 100% financing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
but as I mean, Tony. So it's easier. It's easier to get homes in America now because of all the different products that they're offering to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be strategic and smart about this as well, right? There needs to be a plan of action when it comes to investing in real estate, right? Numbers always, deals got to be a deal, right? You know that's what I tell people, right? People I have people I know that purchase homes or whatever, and they're cash poor, right? That's not a good thing, right? I want to be as liquid as possible. So if somebody offers me 100% financing, there's a quirk to it, right? There's always a little bit something of like, okay, you offer me 100% financing. Your mortgage, people don't understand that you need to have money. If you're doing 100% finance, you need to have money to be able to pay your mortgage every month, right?
Sure.
You got your taxes, you got inconvenience spend, right? You got to take care of maintenance of your home. So we got like 4 or 5 things that you got to take care of every single month. So you're, depending on your credit score or whatever the case may be, is a lot of times they're debt traps too, because now it's like, okay, they can foreclose on the home and get that money back. So you just wasted money, right? And they recoup that home back. They recoup that tangible asset back.
Absolutely. It's one thing that I would tell people when I qualify them for a home. Okay, you qualify for a $500,000 home. Now let me tell you what that means. You qualify if you find a house that you can get for $1 all the way to 500,000. That's your range. Okay. And so when you're looking at the house that you want to purchase, keep in mind, like you said, Phill, that payment, because hey, you got kids. What about your kids playing sports? Food is on the increase. And then we got to talk about insurance. Insurance increased 30% this past year, but now it's on the board that in 2025, insurance is about to increase another 30%. So I definitely agree with that, man. When I'm talking about qualifying for homes, definitely there a plethora of new opportunities out there. Matter of fact, I had a partner of mine. He's a LO. Hopefully out there listening, Ant. I'm blowing you up. Anthony Odoms. All right. Well, he told me about a new program that his company is offering. 1 day out of bankruptcy. 1 day out of bankruptcy, and it blew my mind. Listen, we talking 100% finance. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. 1 day out of bankruptcy, 100% finance.
They have
risk. Talk about risk. Yeah, man. I look at it from, when I hear these programs, I think about, I put my underwriter hat on and I just wonder, like, wow, I wonder what that.
Yeah, that what Phill just did, because you asked the question, is it easier to get homes today, right? So now Phill series 6 and 7 they kicked in. He was like, hold on, yeah, we can get these houses. But I love it. That's why I say I love to listen to the expert when it comes to money, because this the other side people don't get a chance to hear. You said $1 to 500,000. My max is 500,000. 9 times out of 10, most people gonna do what? Get a house at the highest point, at the highest price point, right?
Can I step on your toes, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing that I left out that I would tell them as well: tell your real estate agent 400. Because if you tell them 500, that's all you're gonna look at. That's all you're gonna see.
Well, it's not based on the. Well, you got to tell your lender. You need to tell your lender at the end of the day, and also you can tell your real estate agent, but you also tell him, "Hey, my max is 300,000. That's what I want. That's what I need."
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is,
I'm not going over that.
You don't tell them 5. You qualify for 500. You don't go in out there like that.
And then when you come work with me, even your number. See, I'm like, I put on my cap like you guys put on your financial cap. I'm not trying to get my client to go out here and spend their whole $500,000. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out a way for them to save money. I'm trying to help them look at the long run, because I've been in this market for so long. And we don't think about tomorrow. We're thinking about right now. This is what I want right now. And like if I go to the store, I'm in the mall, they set all these pretty lights up, these glass windows, and they make it look real good. They give 20% discount. And not necessarily you really getting a discount, but they giving you become an emotional buyer. And a lot of times we get these houses, we become emotional buyers. And we're not looking at our finances 10 years, 20 years down the road, because we don't have an exit strategy too. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to stay in that house no more than 5 years. And then you're going to look to sell, right? So why am I at the highest point spending all my money when I can't be saving my money or putting it into another trust where it comes to, I'll let you guys speak on that part when it comes to these different insurance instruments where you can, put money in stock or VULs or IULs or what have you. So there are different avenues that we can take that extra money that you're willing to spend on that $500,000 that you can save, and you can like pay yourself back, right?
Absolutely.
So I had these conversations with my buyers when we buying property. I see what they can be afford, what they afford. Don't do that.
That's being a good agent, man. That's being a fiduciary when you're not governed to be, looking
Right.
out for that client's best interest, So when I was saying I didn't want to step on your toes, but I was saying realtors in general, man. But you're absolutely right, because the thing is this, right? You put a person in a home that they can't afford, and then when that house foreclosed, it's your fault. You know what I mean? It's your fault, social media out there, the loan officer fault and the realtor fault. They didn't put me in this house, because this person, they sacrificed what they wanted for what they wanted right then,
Mm-hmm.
And again, you got to have that plan, just like you said. So Phil, Tony did mention something that I talk a lot about, and that is using various insurance instruments. And I like to get your input on that from the standpoint of, IULs. Okay, we know 10 years. I know 10 years. They don't have a history. But what is your thoughts on it, man? Because I talk to the people a lot about it. And so I want them to hear it from someone else, and you have your series license, and you can kind of please bring all that forward.
So when I talk about insurance products, more so with people, I gotta understand their risk tolerance. I gotta understand how much they make a year. I gotta understand what net worth they're at right now, what assets they need to protect. Do they have kids? Do they have a wife? Do they have parents that they need to protect? Like, all this stuff is super duper important, right? Because every insurance product from different companies are not the same, right? And I'm not gonna put any companies on blast or whatever the case may be is, but I worked at one of the biggest insurance brokers, so I've seen every type of product from every different company, right? So, the biggest thing, like I said, is the risk tolerance, how much assets you have that you need to protect, your net worth and stuff like that, right? So it's always important for people to get permanent and term insurance from an early age, because of the fact that permanent insurance will rise, term insurance will rise. But people also have to understand that term is only there for term. And if you know the statistics of term, they don't pay out because somebody outlives the policy. So now you get a term policy, let's say a 20-year term policy from 20 years old to 40 years old, and you don't get a permanent. Now, all right, well, maybe you get another term if you're healthy at that point, right? There's all different variables that we got to think about. Mm-hmm. You get a permanent now, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Can you fit that in your budget? Are you looking for the cash flow on it, or are you looking for the face amount for the debt on it? Okay, these are super important. Somebody who is making over, depending on if they're married or single, right, and whatever tax bracket they're in, right. Let's just say over $150,000 you're single, right. You would want to put some money into it for sure, because of the fact that you're maxed out and you can't utilize a Roth IRA unless you backdoor it. Okay, so these are all little things depending on your tax bracket and stuff like that. And I can get into the Rule 72T and hit people over the head with different strategies, et cetera, et cetera. But just to keep it simple, and every insurance company has different products, and you need to make sure you understand what the surrender value is. Are you doing it for the cash flow? Are you doing it for the face amount? What's your budget? When can you see the money back, et cetera, et cetera? Are they on a term policy? Is it a fixed amount? Is it going up every single year? Because there's some companies that do that, right? And they think they have the best product out. And a lot of these companies are network marketing companies as well. So you just got to be very careful of what you're getting yourself into, because insurance agents give financial advisors a bad rep. I got to just be honest, right? And this is why I kind of like, I say I'm a licensed financial advisor. I have my licenses. I'm just not sponsored at a firm, right? And I told Tony all the time, like, my goal is to have my own registered investment advisory firm, which is in the process, to focus on wealth management, to help people on that side and on the business side. That's more so what I want to do. I'm not crazy into the insurance. I get it. I understand what it's there for. I understand what is needed, but I want your money to keep making money, and then making sure also we protect it as well. right? So it just really just depends on how people look at it and stuff like that. I've seen people, get huge policies. That's because they had a lot of assets. I've seen people get small policies because they didn't really have nothing and they had kids to protect. So it's just like you got to see the value in it. Life insurance is one of the most hardest things to sell to people.
Yeah, in saying that, you're absolutely right, because life insurance is typically the only thing that you pay for that you will never get the benefit from it.
But a lot of people be like,
well, death benefit, yeah.
Why am I paying for it if I'm not gonna see it? Well, you pay for car insurance, you pay for homeowners insurance, you pay for insurance. That money gets gone or whatever, and maybe an accident does happen, but no one's banking on an accident to happen.
But you paying for it because of your kid, your wife.
Yeah,
you're not leaving them, in a distressed situation.
Yeah,
that's what it's for. At the end of the day, in my opinion.
Of course,
it's not for you.
That's the biggest thing, and that's how you create generational wealth. A lot of people don't have assets. People don't understand, right? You leave real estate property, right? You don't know what the kid or the wife, if they're not in the loop, they don't understand what you owe on taxes.
Yeah.
What you owe on taxes, you gotta go through probate court if you don't have a trust. A will's not enough. In our community, I want everybody to know a will is not enough. You gotta have a trust.
Absolutely.
You have to work with an estate planning attorney, an estate planning attorney who is licensed. Okay, a will, anybody can go against it, et cetera, et cetera. You make an irrevocable trust. Now you have an estate planning attorney on your side because they're acting as a third party, a power of attorney.
Yeah, I know you didn't notice, but we represent one of the largest trust firms in the U.S. And there are a lot of these trust packages that you can get online that a couple $100 you can fill them out and things of that nature. But at the bottom of each of those forms, on every page, it says this is not legal advice. You know what I mean? So let the chips fall where they may after you fill out this information. I now agree totally with you, man. You have to speak to a trust attorney so you can make sure that you're getting the right type of trust, because there are a plethora of them, that's best for you and your family. And, another thing too, I really believe that the death benefit should actually go into a trust. That way you're able to.
It's the trust will own their insurance policy.
Create a seed versus, because you got to, let's say, like you said, a person has a large face value in the unfortunate situation having that person dies. You got a $500,000 million face value. That's like giving a person a lottery winning. For 5 years, if you haven't been taught how to utilize that capital, that money is gone. So this is what we use a trust for when we talk about transferring generational wealth. So let's talk about the real estate game, guys. Let's talk about what you guys got going on in Texas, because you got some big plans out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We do. Like I say, Phill and myself, we created this company called Tap Into Income Community, and within that community, we teach wholesale real estate. And Phill teach the financial literacy side. As you guys have heard him speak today, this guy is very knowledgeable when it comes to that arena. I mean,
and the brother's only 28 years old.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had to clap that up when I heard his accolades.
Hey, big up to
yes.
Yeah, big up to my brother, man. I truly value Phil's opinion and his knowledge. But deeper than that, man, we just connect on a higher level, on a higher frequency and vibration. Sometimes when God put people together, they put them together for a reason. So we created this duo with the financial side and the real estate. I've been in real estate. I've been a licensed real estate agent for over 8 years now, going on 9. It'll make 9 years in May of this year, of 2025. I'll be a licensed agent. So I actually got into real estate to even be an investor. That's what my whole purpose was, even getting into real estate. And someone always asked me, Tony, why you get into real estate? For one thing, it was always a part of me. And what I mean by that is I've always been building homes since I was a kid with my grandfather. They were carpenters, they were builders. My father, so forth, so on. So I was the guy with the hard hat on, the tool belt, the hammer, but I hated it. I did not. I couldn't stand it because it was labor. It was hard work. You know, I'm 18, 19 years old. When coming home, red dirt, boots on. I don't have no bills, nor do I have kids. What am I doing? Why am I not in college? But that wasn't my path. As time, move on, I understand the journey that my path and what was created for me that were unique for my fingertips, right? And that was real estate. So, fast forward, me linking up with Phill, we doing these wholesale deals or what have you, and that's the goal, is to teach people who have little to no money. A lot of us don't have money, don't know about real estate. How can we get in the game? How can we make money? You know what I mean? And for me, I come from an environment where we come from the streets. And everybody want the fast money, Keith. You know what I'm saying? They want the quick dollar, but we throwing rock at the penitentiary. We throwing rock at the grave site. You know, we killing one another. We're doing all these devilish things that is not helping us achieve our true goals. That's not who we really are. But we're stuck in our lower self and we fighting these demons each and every day. You know, how can we give back? How can we be a light to our community? You know, what that look like. So you got two young men with integrity, leadership skills, and we confident in what we do because we put the work in, and this is our purpose. We love this. I love what I do. I smile each and every day that I rise, knowing that I have opportunity to make $1 million. Every day I rise, I expect to shake somebody's hand that's going to lead me to making $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Is $1 million for me? Absolutely, it's for me. But also, it's not. We look at money as a tool. You know, we can help people. We can help our family members. We can help our kids, and so forth and so on. It's just not that I just want to get $1 million, $1 million, and want to go and live this lavish lifestyle and blah blah blah. That's cool and dandy too, but we got work to do. And our community need it, man. We are lacking. We are last when it comes to economics. We are at the bottom of the toll. And I've been in so many different rooms and circles and seeing other cultures and other races. They eating. They living the good life. They living the dream. And we're not. We around here killing one another, and it's hurt. And it's so sad to witness that and to see that. You know what I'm saying? So what can we do? How can we help? We're a small percentage, but we just want to do our part. And we created this school where we only charging people $40, two high 20s. Two high $20. I mean, you blow $20 every day. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys blow $20 buying you a 3.5, buying you a 7, buying you a half, buying shirt, whatever it is that you buying, you guys doing that. You blowing your bread. And I think you can spend $40 to learn how to not only learn real estate, but also you can learn how to manage money, how to make money. What is money? How do money work? So that's something that we create. That's something that we're working on, and we pushing that out 2025 for the community. But also, Phil and I also have other endeavors that we'll soon speak about. We don't want to speak about them as right now because they're still under development, and we're still working with those things. But they're coming. We have a lot with TAP that I'm very excited about each and every day. So that's kind of the spiel, Keith, when it comes to that real estate side. Did we lose Keith? I think we lost him. I'm not sure.
I have no clue. Hopefully he gets back in here.
I think I see him, but I don't hear him.
No, he's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see me?
So like I was saying, Keith, that's kind of like pretty much in a nutshell. I can speak about the real estate side, like buying and selling houses as a realtor, but again, I'm more so than shift, honestly, into this whole wholesale and to development. So it's different phases that we're at right now. So we have the wholesale side, we have the buy and flip, and then we have the top tier where we're doing development.
Copy that, man. Copy that. My apologies, man. I had a situation I had to go. It was an emergency.
Oh, no problem. I understand. I understand.
So but yeah, man, so that's fantastic. Definitely there's money out there in the streets, as we look at what's happening or about to happen in 2025, not only in the residential market, but also in the commercial market. There are several $1 trillion that are coming due in the commercial space. You had the it was a lot of the hedge funds, they stepped up and they actually bailed some banks out this behind the scenes, this past year. But their loans coming due, man. Their loans coming due is going to create opportunities. As I see it, I'm seeing some prices coming down a bit. I see prices coming down a bit now with the Fed lowering the interest rate. We're going to see what kind of effect that has on the market, and along with this plethora of new programs that are out there that's available. But the bottom line is this: if you don't have the financial literacy, you're not going to be able to take advantage of any of this.
Absolutely.
What I say, CIA, credit, income, and assets. You got to know them. You got to know where you are as far as your credit. You got to know what kind of income you have to utilize to qualify, and you got to understand where your assets play as far as you qualifying for various types of financial obligations, whether it's a home mortgage or a business loan or whatever the case may be, man. And this is where we are. You said something, and I don't want to really make this too long, because y'all attention span is short. People out there, y'all
already tapped out, probably.
Short. Yeah. But listen, guy, it's one thing that you said, man. You and Phill came together, and we as a people, we got to understand that we are community-based people. You can do nothing by yourself. I don't care what kind of business you have. It's not going to work by yourself, and nothing else. You need customers.
No.
And I'm going to tell you from experience, it's no fun at the bottom or the top by yourself.
Yeah.
So I definitely commend you guys finding that synergy amongst yourselves to do something greater, man, and to be able to teach financial literacy to the community. Phill, a children's book, man, that's something I always had in the back of my mind. So I definitely want to know more about that children's book.
I sent him and watch this boy create this book.
Okay, we're gonna have to have you come back and just talk about the book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure.
Well, look, listen, we've been in here now going on 42 minutes, man. I usually try to keep this around about 30, but before you guys go, it's a prerequisite to coming on the show, and we call it the sauce, right? Each of you all got to provide some sauce for the people. And what is sauce? I'm glad you asked. Sauce is some information that you've gained through work experience, through life, just some wisdom that you can give to the people, something that they can put in place as soon as they get off of this podcast and put it into action. So whoever want to go first, you can go first.
Phill, be my guest, my brother.
Oh, be me?
Let's get it. What you got?
I got
what kind of sauce you got for
him? Well, just three important things, right? Money loves speed, wealth loves time, and poverty loves indecision. So I hope that doesn't go over any of you guys' head, right? You want to get to the money as fast as possible, right? You want to make clear and cut decisions, okay? And then you got to be patient when it comes to wealth, right? Instant gratification, yeah, you might win there, here, and there, but again, it's quick dopamine, right? That dopamine could get to you, and then you could lose it all. I trade. Tony knows I trade. You know what I mean? The most I made in a day, he's seen it. I made $23,000 in one day. Right. So, I'm just telling you guys, right, is a lot of times the delayed gratification is great. Right. Instant gratification is cool, but it can have your head, gassed up. Right. Just like how a girl says, you a cute little dude, you a cute, dude, or the guy saying, oh, you a cute girl, can have you gassed up. Right. So you got to think of the long haul always and not just the short term, play.
Absolutely.
I hope that one stick today. I hope that one stick.
Coach Keith, make sure you record and make sure we get these recordings. You know what I mean?
Hey, we gonna definitely make sure of that, brothers.
That's some sauce right there. I don't know. I don't even know if I can come behind that. I probably
I say this every week, right? And this is one of my originals. Tony, you heard it before. What do you do when your today is tomorrow and you didn't plan for it yesterday? That's a real thing, y'all.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Tony, what sauce say ye, sir?
Man, one of my pet peeves, man. My pet peeves is to avoid the unhappy and the unlucky, because soon their misery will become yours.
Absolutely,
You
bro.
know,
Ooh,
yeah,
come on. That's
yeah,
heavy.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You know what's what I gained from that and what you just said,
What's that?
as a man thinketh, so shall he be.
Absolutely.
This lady told me a long time ago, man. I never forget it. She said when she was a kid growing up, her mother told her, she was one of these whining kids. Her mother said, look, I don't care if you whine, because it's your choice if you're mad, glad, happy, or sad. It's your decision. So, I get it. I get it. Well, look, we'll definitely come back and do this again. I really appreciate you guys' time. And at one at a time, let me see now. Look, guys, this is a new platform for me as well. So I'm gonna pull two of y'all, myself and one of you back. And Tony, you know what I want to say? What I want you to say, I should say. I want you to say your name, what it is you do, and you have just been talking fat. Every time I do this at the end of the show, we we might have to do it once or twice. But yeah, you're gonna say your name, what it is that you do, and you have just been talking fat. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna just go ahead and choose. Uh-oh. I need to choose one of y'all though, don't I?
That's it. Did you? Keith said he was new to this, so I don't know. But again, my name is D'Antonio Hackworth. I am a entrepreneur. I wear many hats. I don't just consider myself to be locked and caged into one box. I just know how to make money, and I know how to network with other people to also make money with them. And again, you have been talking facts.
Keith, you there?
I am. I'm coming back. Okay. Like I stated before, we
I
usually
got,
have
I
to do
got, I
this
gotta
once or
do it
twice.
again. I gotta do it again.
Brother, yes, sir. We out here
Did you
live.
hear that,
We out
Phil?
here
Did you
live,
hear that?
guys. We just out here live, and we just gentlemen out here messing around right now at the end of this broadcast. But I want you to say, I have just been talking fat. Say your name, what it is you do, and I have just been talking fat.
Did this work?
Yeah, you're up.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to record that for y'all. I'm gonna have to y'all later.
I mean, I said it. I said it. I don't know. You can go and cut it and do your thing too.
Well, no, we'll get there. We'll get there. The people out there are like, what is going on this podcast?
Hey, but Keith, man, like it always a pleasure, my brother, to jump on your
Yes, sir.
platform and definitely talk and have these type of conversations. These are the conversations that we definitely need to have in our community. I mean, we need to have it more often. This is what gonna take us to the next level and get us in that economic power, that we need, that we missing today. So again, I've always appreciate you. I remember when it's been years and years ago, me and Keith were trading and doing these commodity deals, and we done had several gold deals done. We
Oh,
done had so many SBLC. We've been trading platforms before I even knew what all this stuff was, but Keith has always definitely been a great mentor and a good friend of mine, man. Again, I always appreciate you, my brother. I remember you first sent me that book a while back. That definitely led me on a path as a man thinking.
yes, sir.
That was one of the most powerful books that I read. So again, I am always honored, and again, I appreciate you, champ.
Nah, thank you for your time, and Phil, I really appreciate you taking time as well, man. I know you guys out there moving and shaking and doing your thing. So, we will do this again, gentlemen. We will, and hopefully
Absolutely.
we'll get some positive
Talking
feedback.
fat, talking fat, talking fat, talking fat on the live screen with Keith Robertson and my boy Phil Crawford.
Hey guys, and what we gonna do? We gonna dip on that, y'all. So listen, my name is Keith Robertson. This has been another episode of Talking Fat, and I want to say, action and knowledge leads to power. And join us next week, next Thursday, 8 o'clock. Remember, we'll be here, and it's for you because we bring public information that a lot of times is not public knowledge. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for taking time to tune in to Talking PHAT. As we know better, we must do better, because action of knowledge leads to power. If this content has been useful to you, please like and share. Tune in again. Peace and blessings.